Welcome everyone to today's Business Finishing School podcast. I am Ashleigh Mooney, the Executive Director of BFS and your host. Now, just as a reminder, these podcasts are designed for you to learn how to easily implement the Business Finishing School principles into your life and into your business. This is a way for you to learn from successful entrepreneurs and business people who have been doing this program themselves. And the struggle is real for business owners. Everyone goes through the same sort of struggles. We all go through the same sort of highs. And it's important for us to be a community and for you to see that people struggle and they have successes and they have lows just like you do. And how can you get out of it so that you don't have to pay the same tuition that others have paid? So with that said, I'm really excited because I have on the line Dr. Fred DiDomenico, and Dr. Fred has been with the program since 2015. He's been to several of our events, and he's one that really just engulfs himself into the principles. He shares it with other people. So I'm really excited to hear what he has to say today. How are you doing, Dr. Fred?
I'm great, Ashley. I'm really honored that I get to have this opportunity to speak with you and share our experience with Business Finishing School and the great things that it's helped in what I do and our clients that I refer to Business Finishing School.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear it. So with that said, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business? What are you up to?
Well, I'm a chiropractor. We have a coaching group. It's Elite Chiropractic Coaching, and it's really the most powerful self-empowerment and business training for spinal corrective practices and chiropractic. And, you know, it's interesting because one thing, what I found in coaching is people really are only as successful at being an entrepreneur and running their business as they are as a person. And it's one of the things I love about Business Finishing School is not just the business strategies, but the personal development that you get through the principles. And that really seems to make such a great difference. Absolutely. And so, I mean, we have go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, well, we have a great program. I mean, our doctors are, very successful. It is this very specific niche in chiropractic. And we have front door to back door systems, including the personal growth stuff that really help people launch and catapult into reaching their vision for what they want to do in their life purpose in chiropractic, in their personal life, and as an entrepreneur. So what's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, when I go to Rick for the authority. He's obviously a world-class business coach. So, coaches need coaches, and Rick is my business coach.
That's so awesome. What I think is so beautiful about what you just said is you're only as successful as a business person as you are in your personal life. However you said it, it was beautiful. I'm not saying it nearly as eloquently as you did, but that is so, so true. People think that they can separate what's going on personally and it's not going to at all affect their business. And that's just not true. And what you're about and what we're about is bringing that home work-life balance, helping people see you can have success personally, you can have success in your business, and it can all marriage and work well for you.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, that's the difference between success and fulfillment. You see a lot of successful people and they're just not happy, or they get a divorce, and then all of a sudden, your success is down the tube. So it's not about success. It's about being enjoyed, being fulfilled, right? Fulfilling your vision in every area of your life. So that's really what we focus on. And it's what I love about you guys. One of the things. And
that's so great. And you just pinged me in something. It is in how you define success. So some people have defined success as being, I'm going to make a lot of money. And I've defined success really as, how are you being fulfilled? Are you at peace in your life? Are you living your purpose? That to me is success.
Well, I think, and this is one of the things that we teach, success by the world conditions can be so temporary. When in reality, I think when you come to the end of your life, what's going to be the most important thing is really the quality of a relationship. So that's what we focus on, especially in chiropractic, because when you build lifelong relationships, you're also going to build a successful, sustainable business. Mm-hmm. And so when you do that in your business and your personal life, that's relationship culture based, you don't have to worry about marketing because your people in your culture do it for you.
Absolutely. Now, in working with the amount of chiropractors and business owners that you've worked with in your past, I know you will have a great answer to this question, but in your opinion, why do most businesses fail?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. Number one, and when you look at small business, which that's chiropractic, it's because the leaders are focused on small things. They do small tasks. It's that belief system that's got to be done. You got to do it by yourself. You got to do it for yourself. And is number one, people don't delegate near enough. Would be not just have a great team, but the mistake is people hang on to the wrong people for so long. So especially like doctors and, people get attached to relationships. And one of the adages we teach in Elite is purpose wins over people. So when you have a purpose that's bigger than you are, and the team raises their commitment to that purpose, number one, inspired teams don't make mistakes. Task-driven teams make mistakes. So if you have to manage people, then either they don't have the purpose or you have the wrong person. So if they have the purpose, but there's a lot of mistakes and they need a lot of management, you just may have the wrong person. And so rule number one is get the wrong people off the bus, get the right people on the bus, right? That's a Jim Collins quote from Good to Great. So that's part of the problem is number one, they're doing too many tasks because they have the wrong people. Number two, right? So get the right people that take responsibility, delegate as much as possible, do only the things that your specialty can do. Like when you know what your gifts are, then don't do anything other than that. And then delegate the rest so you can focus. That's when things grow.
Absolutely.
The leader has to be the visionary, not the mechanic.
Yes. And I think that's the problem with most entrepreneurs. They want to be the visionary and the mechanic, or they feel like no one else can do this as good as I can,
Well, and that's because you either didn't train them or you didn't hire the right person. And those are, I think, the two common mistakes. So then what do they default and do? They start taking up small tasks, and that will kill the success and the purpose of a business.
Right. I mean, it's especially if you're a $200 an hour, person, and then you're doing $5, $10, $15 an hour jobs, it doesn't make sense that people don't look at it in that lens. So it's awesome that you're there to provide that, to help them through that. So what module inside a business finishing school has had the greatest impact on your, we'll say, life and business, since for you it's all one marriage?
Yeah, well, this is something that we've always taught that definitely gets reinforced in business finishing school, which I really believe is the most important, and that's being clear on your core values. So when you understand the purpose and you understand your core values tell you who you are and who you're not. And it's more important. The problem is when you're unclear on your core values, you're doing things that are against your values, and that's where your frustration is. And so to become clear on that, then to me, running your business or your personal life, which is all the same, when you're very clear on who you are, your confidence, your spirituality, your focus is so much more defined that you eliminate all the things that are incongruent. So total congruency is power. It's focus. It's speed of implementation. It's how fast you progress. And so, number one, you incorporate that into your relationships. You have common core values with your partner, but especially in your business, because you guys know the more successful you are, the more people you have pulling on you. And so the thing is, it's either in your core values or it's not. And so, a famous, infamous line that Patrick Gentempo always uses is profitability is in polarization. That just means you know who you are and you know who you're not. And so the more laser sharp focused you are that aligns with your values, the more power, the more fuel you put into everything that you do. Now, people will come up, I own a coaching group, so everybody's, hey, you can make money on this and you can make money on that if you do this and sell this to your clients. But it's like, that's not aligned with our core values. So what it does is when we're aligned with our core values, it allows us to look deeper. So when our core value is that we want to add as much value to our clients in a unique way than anybody else can, number one, you create loyalty and commitment and retention. And number two, then we look at, let's add services that add value and an advancement to our clients. So we go deep and we don't have to go as wide. Mm-hmm. So that's, as you know, the basic unit of a business is profit per unit. So when the value, as this is strictly from a business perspective, when the value, monetary value of the investment of each client is greater, then you don't need as many clients to be highly successful, but the value that you provide creates retention. Now, if you want to go wide and market to other groups, just stay within your core values. So, you know, we have programs. We're beginning an advanced training program on leadership. And I actually, it's something I'd like to bring up to Rick to see if he wants to be involved in and promote business finishing school in, is an advanced program we're coming out with. Number two, we have the most advanced patient management system in the profession. We guarantee a 30 to 50% growth in 90 days. There's no coaching group that does that, you know, but because we're innovative and because we're highly effective and because we know what our core values are, we can provide services that are so unique and innovative that nobody else can do that because they don't have the same values that we do.
Absolutely. And you're taking it into a much, much deeper level. Once you get it and you're living it, then you can take it deeper, like what you're doing. I was asked to go, I'm actually leaving. I haven't had a chance to tell you this, but next week I'm going to Europe for 10 days to speak in Italy and in Germany to some Army veterans and current servicemen and women who are going to be transitioning out of the military. And they asked me to come and speak, and this topic is exactly what I chose. And a lot of what you said is in my talk. It's so funny how we're connected universally that way, but a lot of what you said is actually in my talk is, you know, you have to know who you are. And what I'm telling them is before you can make any decision on if you're going to open up a business, when you leave the military, if you're going to get a job somewhere else, you have to define who you are separate and apart from what the military's core values are, because the rest of the world is thinking financial opportunity over values. They're thinking sexual attraction with another human being versus long-term goals and objectives when they're picking their future spouse and their future soulmate. When parents are raising their kids, they're thinking about what I want right now. I'm tired and I want to watch TV right now, instead of, okay, I'm actually raising this human being and I have to invest and teach them values so that they can grow up to be a productive member to society. So it's so critical in going forward in before you make any kind of decision in life, you have to create your values first.
Yes, definitely gives you clarity and power and fuel and passion.
So what are some things that, with everything that you've learned, and I know that you've learned a lot through Business Finishing School, but then you also do your own things, but what are some things that you've learned inside of Business Finishing School in these past 3 years that you can tell, or the past 2 years, that the listener can put on the ground today?
Well, I would say, I've already talked about this. I would say be clear about what your gifts are. And then don't do anything other than that. And so, like I have a coaching group. So my gifts are the life coaching, certainly personal empowerment, and certainly the systems. You know, we have the systems. So my gifts are coaching. My gifts are doing things like this: interviews, webinars, teaching seminars, on teleconferences. My gifts are not paying the bills. You know, my gifts are not calling a hotel to set up a seminar. So all those things I have assistants for. So I have 2 assistants, and they'll tell you I give them everything. You know, if something in my car insurance comes up, I don't call my car insurance company. You know, if I don't open my mail, I have no desire to open my mail. I'm focusing on opening my mail. I'm not creating the next program that provides value to my clients. And I'd rather take a nap. To me, a nap is more valuable than opening my mail. I'd rather meditate for 15 minutes. I'd rather go eat lunch or take a walk on the beach and think of the next book I'm going to write or something like that than I would opening bills. You know, so I would say, look at the things that you're doing that, number one, you don't like, and number two, that are less than a $2,000 an hour job, and then give those all away. And it's amazing how you will have fulfillment and happiness and peace and productivity. And that's how your business goes. Give it all away.
Absolutely. And I think that gives you access to what your values are. If you can identify what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy, then that'll give you an access to kind of go back to what you said before. It ties it all together.
I hear a lot of people, they dog on themselves because they think procrastinate. Well, when I did a bunch of stuff I didn't like, I procrastinated too. Why? Because I don't like it. So I have the mantra that we need to do that only I can do. However, if it's not fun, I give it to somebody else. Otherwise, I'm going to procrastinate on it. And I don't need to create self-deprecating language someone else should be doing that I'm procrastinating on because it's not any fun for me to do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Now, you've given us a lot to think about. I think we could probably end it there. But in closing, is there any last minute thoughts that you have?
Oh, man, I have a whole bunch of thoughts. I think to me, this is my personal, Deepak Chopra's laws of success talks about object referral. That means you identify with things outside of you. So as a business owner, we can get caught up in the economy. We can get caught up in our bank account. We can, how many new clients. We get caught up in things that are outside us. One of the things that we do is we teach how to live an inside out. So, and to me, when you're spiritually based and you live an inside out reference point, I'm not reacting to all the things outside of me. So I don't react to my bank account. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it looks friggin' amazing. And there's other times where, wow, I need to make this big investment, and that may take money out of your bank account, but let's focus on the return, So the universe and life and business owner is like the tides. Sometimes the tide's in and sometimes the tide's out. If you don't react to the tide, if you're at the beach and the tide is out, you're focusing on the big wave coming in. The further out the tide goes, the bigger this comes. So what is your focus? A problem that business owners have is they react to conditions. And when you react to conditions, you put yourself on an emotional roller coaster. As opposed to living in and out, don't react to conditions. Your success, your focus, that's how you move through conditions. That's how conditions become temporary.
Awesome. That's great advice. Thank you so much, Dr. Fred, for your time today. And thank you to everyone who listened. We're going to wrap it there. I think he's given you a lot to think about and a lot to implement, a lot to put on the ground. If anyone wants to contact you, Dr. Fred, to learn more about what it is that you do, where can they contact you?
You can just email me, Dr. Fred, DRFRED1, the number 1, .1 at msn.com.
Well, thank you so much. All right, everyone. Have a great day.